Good morning.
Good morning. Before we start, I usually ask Jamie if it's okay to begin. Is it customary, since your family's here already? Okay, we're ready? Good. We'll begin our meeting as is our custom to begin with the observance of a moment of silence. Thank you. Please rise for the pledge to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Is there anyone here for public comment? Let's get over that and go to the approval of the minutes of our previous meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting as printed.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any additions, deletions, corrections, or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so ordered. On to our treasurer's report with Mrs. Newman.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
We had receipts on December 26th and 27th of $3,342,729.08. So that brought us to a total cash of $3,461,751.43. Our expenditures this week were $2,862,342.55. Our undistributed tax claim right now is $12,748.30, leaving a balance of $586,660.58.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any comment? Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same signs, so moved.
Okay, thank you. I have one other quick thing to do here. I have to open an account for Jackson Township to keep their money in until we disperse it, so I need the approval for that.
All right, I'll make a motion to grant the treasurer permission to open an account for Jackson Township.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. Thank you.
Same to you.
Okay. Jamie,
I think we're going to be ahead of schedule this morning since we don't have any personnel
that's all right.
for conference summary requests. So I want to present the budget for final approval for the 2018 Lebanon County budget. Back on December 7th, the budget was originally considered and introduced for the public to review as required by the county code. It must be on display for 20 days. And it has been. So we're at the point now where it's ripe for approval. To review some of the numbers, the overall county budget is being presented at $76,486,970. And the general fund itself is $45,611,822, which comprises about 60% of the overall budget. There is a minor change since the original proposed budget, and that being it's about a $1,400 increase in investment. So that's the only difference over the $76,488,487 change. Went over the charts and all the tables and everything at the meeting on the 7th. I don't know if there are any questions about it since then. To my knowledge, we didn't have very much interest in the public looking at it out front, which is typical. That's okay. So with that, unless you have questions, we would need a motion to adopt the 2018 general fund budget, setting the general fund millage rate at 3.2925 mils, same as 2017, and that would be then in the form of resolution.
Seek a motion.
Also move to adopt the budget of $76,486,907 and 3.2925 mils.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any question or comment? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved. All right.
Okay.
Now we want to,
That went very quickly, so yeah. Do you want to, I think Ken Spack is going to start. and we'll go into the-
On behalf of Historic Schaefferstown's board, I'd like to thank the commissioners for the availability of that grant that gave us the opportunity to produce a video and market it, and as well through the restoration of this. And we have two presenters to tell you all about those two issues. Dr. Pat Gibble, she's our archaeologist at Historic Schaefferstown, and has done some wonderful archaeology work there, but had the wonderful idea to produce a video, and she'll tell you about that. And the sketch that was also the preservation and the work that had to be done on it to bring it back to life was supervised by Jan Taylor, who's one of our docents in the museum and very active in other things as well, including our annual Cherry Fair and the Harvest Fair and so many other things Jan does. So with that, let me turn it over to Pat, and she'll tell you about the video and show you a brief portion of it. Thank you.
Hopefully show you a brief portion of it. Wake up. Well, while I'm waiting for the computer to wake up so I can show you the video, I'm just going to briefly tell you why we got started in this direction. The most important thing for small communities and their historical societies is to advertise and market and get people out there knowing about their history and drawing people in. And the opportunity to get this grant to make the video was right down the line. We wanted to make a documentary about Schaefferstown, and we also wanted to market Schaefferstown, to draw people into the community, more tourism, etc. So let's see. And so we began by organizing a committee, and the committee was made up of 5 members, some historians, some board members, and we began to pursue looking for a videographer. And we asked for 3 different bids, and we're astounded to find out that the top 2 bids wanted $100,000 and $45,000 to make a video. The 3rd bid was someone that I knew. He had made a video for Mount Gretna, and he was very skilled and very reasonable, and so his name is Jim Forney. And we talked to him, and he of course wanted to know what we wanted in the video. So as I said, we wanted it to be a documentary about the town and its citizens, and we also wanted it to be something that would bring people into the community. Now right now I'm having trouble getting this to show.
You're connected, it's boundaries.
Yeah, but it's just not showing it.
You have to click on the little thing on the bottom on the right. And it's that little, there you go, little video guy. Looks like it's underlined, like it has to just be opened up. No, the next one over. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
I think that'll do it. So we had to figure out what we wanted in the video. And of course, what we wanted to do was document the history of Schaefferstown. But we also wanted to show many of the events and activities that Historic Schaefferstown Incorporated did throughout the year in order to draw people in. And it's still,
Oh, it's there. You saw it.
Yeah. Come on.
Are you double clicking?
Okay, there we go. Now,
Did you single click or double click on it, Gordon asked? Oh, there you go, you got it playing.
Going back in time is
Just
a
got a little
well
longer.
documented story of a unique place called Schaefferstown.
Kids involved. Did not want this.
Any IT millennials wanna help?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, come on, go there.
Come running up.
Oh, it's not Apple.
Oh, it's not Apple. Let's try from the very beginning. Yeah.
She did have it earlier.
Yeah. The only thing I can do, and sorry about this, is,
I think that's one of the best teases I've ever seen.
that's right.
Or it is the ultimate teaser.
It's, for some reason, it's not connected.
It's amazing.
Let's see if it'll pick it up. While I'm trying to diddle with this, do you want to
I
go
was
ahead?
just thinking about
I
that.
was
Yeah?
thinking about it. We don't want to
You
hold
wanna
it up
pinch
while we
it?
straighten out this computer problem. And this is Jan Taylor. She's going to tell you about what we used some money from to make the video, but we also used a portion to restore a very valuable picture from the period of historic Schaefferstown.
So first, what I'm going to do, I put together a notebook. Maybe I should have put together 3 notebooks, showing all the photographs that the conservator took in the progress. So there's before and after photos, and I have these as well.
So it was almost a blank slate when you started?
That's the backside, actually. So what they did was they took photos before and after of the front, and these are the front, and this is before, and this is after. Thank you. After, and then they took pictures kind of with lighting to the side to show how wrinkled it was. They took pictures of the back because it originally had wood backing in its frame. And this is very typical of older things, is their wood backing. Wood is very acidic, and so it will cause things to age very quickly. So these 2 pictures we had on display when we had our tavern lunch a few weeks ago. So a little bit of backstory to the Brader sketch. About almost 4 years ago, Diane Wenger and I were putting together a book for Images of America. It's a series that Arcadia Publishing does, and we did it for Schaefferstown and Heidelberg Township. And Diane was poking around the museum, and she came across this. Now, it wasn't as fancily framed. In fact, there was no mat at all. It was right against the glass, which is also supposed to be quite bad. And, you know, at first glance, you wouldn't really take a second look at it because it's brown and faded. But if you really look closely, which Diane did, and she started to do some research on it, there's a heck of a lot of detail in there. So the backstory behind the artist is just as interesting as looking at the details in the photos. The backstory is that this man, Ferdinand Brader, who was the artist, came through Schaefferstown around 1881. Now, he was a Swiss immigrant, he was an itinerant artist, and he did this for his bread and butter. And so he traveled from Philadelphia, basically through Montgomery County, Berks County, Lebanon County, Dauphin County, and the western counties, and ended up in Canton, Ohio, where he stayed for quite a long time. And sometime in 1886, he disappeared from there. Nobody really knew where he went, but he apparently had gotten word that he had received an inheritance from his brother in Switzerland, and so he went to Switzerland. He didn't tell anybody, but then he wrote them a letter. But he never got his inheritance. He disappeared from there. Nobody knows what happened to him. In 1901, they declared him missing without a trace. His son was supposed to get this inheritance too. He never got it either. He went missing. So it's not like anybody,
Blue-eyed saints.
there's no foul play here because nobody got the inheritance. And eventually it went to the state, and I think it
That's foul play.
went toward like orphans or something like that. So very interesting story. Now this house still exists today, and it was owned by Daniel Mell, and if you look on that map, the little blow-up of Schaefferstown, you can find Daniel Mell on that map, and on the 1875 Atlas map as well. Any questions?
Did it get published then? You said it was, you've been working on trying to publish pictures. Was this one published?
Yes. Also, there is a group out in Ohio that has formed, basically there's a Brader Museum out in Ohio. And there is a book on all of his sketches. They have gathered them all. Many are in this museum. But somehow they found out about ours in our book, and then they called us because we didn't know anything about them. And last year or the year before, they had a big exposition of his works out there.
And where will this picture hang ultimately for people to view if they want to get a closer look?
We are repainting the wall and making a special place in the Breno Museum.
Or in the museum? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate all your work.
Yeah, well, we couldn't have done it without your financial help, so thank you very much.
Well, I'm very sorry about this, but the best I can do right at this point is, and I hope you brought your glasses for distance, I can show you the teaser that we have about historic Schaefferstown. And let's see if we can get it started.
Yeah, wait a minute. Wait
Okay.
a minute.
All right. We had it up here on the screen, but it wouldn't pick up. We had it going here.
While they're working on that, may I add one thing to Jan's story about the sketch? After the book was published with all the pictures in it, I happened to be in the office, and a lady called me and said, I just looked at your book with all the pictures. Do you have a copy of that Brader sketch? I said, oh, we have the original. I thought she was gonna jump right through the phone. She was so excited, you have the original, and on, and told me more about it. So that's when we started to get excited about it also, because we had no clue. So she got a hold of our book, saw it, gave us a call.
Wow.
Me?
Hey, there we go.
My
Okay.
IT department comes through.
We might be
Time,
next.
singing wave.
And there's no sound.
That's all right. That's okay.
You had sound before.
I know.
It's right there.
Yeah, right there,
Next to the
right
target.
below you, the speaker there,
Below the speakers.
like
Right
that.
there.
There you go.
Deep within its abandoned buildings, fascinating
Yay.
tales of past lives and times are being uncovered. The story begins nearly 300 years ago with the arrival of a man named Alexander Schaeffer.
What probably moved him to this challenging world was the desire to get away from some of the hardships back in the Palatinate region of Germany, for like what he saw apparently, he started to buy up land. He bought several different tracts of land. He laid out his town in orderly lots around a central square, and we can still see great evidence of those original lots in some of the dwellings that were built on them look at it today. Schaefferstown, this town, was located at the intersection of two busy roads, and right on one of the prominent corners, he built himself a hotel and operated a tavern in that, and we believe lived in that hotel. It was a spacious building, not quite like what you see today, and originally had a gable roof on it. One of my favorite pictures is of the town band spread out with their instruments and their wagons on the square, and it shows behind them the Franklin House Hotel with the original gable roof. It's the only picture we have of the gable roof.
The needed provisions of food and whiskey for his hotel was produced on a farm Alexander Schaeffer acquired adjacent to his town. Historic Schaefferstown now owns this property and has earned the designation of a National Landmark Site. Known as the Alexander Schaeffer Farm and Distillery, it includes an 18th century farmhouse and distillery. Historic Schaefferstown is restoring and preserving this national treasure.
This is where the stills would have been originally. The original configuration here was to have one still, and the second still was added later on. I'm not sure the exact dates of those.
Archaeological exploration over the past several years provides more evidence of how life was back in time.
Over the 8 seasons that we excavated, we had over 100 volunteers, some of them returning season after season. And they worked for us for 2,300 hours.
Water was another necessary commodity needed for his hotel. And you'll see and learn how this spring supplied drinking water for man and beast as it flowed by gravity up Market Street to the square and his hotel. Amazingly, the spring still operates today and is the oldest waterworks system still in use to this day. This hour-long documentary will also capture the sights and sounds thousands of people enjoy each year during the cherry and fall festivals, including guided tours of this historic farmhouse.
Okay, we're coming into the kitchen of the house, and the first thing I'd like to show you are these really interesting decorative stars. Look almost like a cog that is placed on the side of the fireplace. Pennsylvania Germans really loved decoration. We can see in this room a number of other pieces of evidence of women's work. She would have remade the bed clothing. She would have plucked the geese that filled that dead cover that's on top, and she would have probably stuffed the straw into that mattress that's on the bottom.
2 other historic sites now owned and maintained by Historic Schaefferstown are the Gamberling Rice House and the Brendel Museum.
And during that time period, this house was a tavern. And this is the remnants of a colonial bar cage. Back when people were coming to a tavern, they were likely sleeping on the floor, and so the tavern keeper had to lock up his wares or they would disappear at night. Look at the wonderful carving on the steps here. And this railing was made with one piece of wood. Welcome to the Brendel Museum. This is Historic Schaefferstown Museum, and it's housed in a building called the Patriotic Order Sons of America Hall. A lot of people might come to a museum like this and think, oh, this looks like Grandma's attic. And yeah, in many ways, this does look like Grandma's attic. And that's how things get donated to us. They come from attics. But in order for us to tell people in the future what the past was like, we really need to save these things. Not only just the physical things, but the documents that really paint a picture of what people's lives were like back before we were alive.
This one-hour documentary is available now on DVD. Order your copy and enjoy a journey back in time.
So this is what we call a teaser. It ended up being a 56-minute documentary that we have now. And you can see it broadly covers the history of Schaefferstown and its most prominent people in Schaefferstown, but also features activities in Schaefferstown that will draw the public in. When we began working on this project in September, we worked until, with Jim Forney. He, interestingly enough, one of the perks was that Jim Forney, who lives outside Pittsburgh, the videographer, actually was from the Schaefferstown area. So he was really familiar with the area. In fact, he would stay with a friend when he came to do the filming. And he came out numerous times. As you can see, we had historians narrating particular elements of the history of Schaefferstown, and so we provided a background. When we finished the video, probably about the end of September, and had it produced, we ordered 100 copies. At this point, in less than 4 months, we've sold 85 copies, so we'll be reordering. The other thing that I think I really appreciated about this is when I run into people, or after they see the video, they say, I didn't know that. Even people who live around Schaefferstown and Lebanon County don't really know the history. So we are very appreciative of the grant, because without that we couldn't have done more in marketing Schaefferstown, providing historical information, and also drawing people into Lebanon County. And do you have any questions? Yeah.
The price and how people can get it. I saw the Rex House is open the first Saturday from 1 to 4. Is that the only time, or can they have it mailed directly to them? Can you give details?
Well, they can go on the website, and we have information about getting it there. Also, I think my phone number and information is still on the website.
And that address is?
And it's, tell me the website again. HISmuseum.org.
HISmuseum.org.
On the website, people can actually see a 3-minute portion of it, so it kind of gets them interested. It's $15.
You can also call our office and leave a message, and we will be glad to send it to you.
I think eventually they're going to be for sale at the tourism office. Isn't that true, Ken?
Yes.
Yeah.
Alice, what is your phone number at the?
949-2244.
And that's a 717?
Yes, it is.
949-2244.
Right.
Thank you.
If we're not there, please leave a message. I check the phone frequently.
Okay, got it, thanks.
Any other questions?
Bill asked about it being at the tourist, when will that be, Ken? Is that soon, or?
I delivered, I think, 10 copies
Okay.
to Laura, and I don't know if she put them out before she left.
Oh, that's good. So they are, they
But
may be there.
Mary Wigley's there,
Okay.
and I think she can handle the sale of them.
All right, thank you. All right, well, thanks very much, and I'm glad you had such a
Finally got it
good
to work.
outcome.
Yeah.
Well, that too. Yes. Thank you, Dr. Good. Thank you.
So next we have some proclamations for Eagle Scouts, And I think maybe Alice would start and just maybe talk a little about the involvement of the boys and where they did their projects, and then there's a description of that in each of the proclamations as well, which I can read.
Is she and the boys gonna come forward?
Sure.
May I talk from here, or shall I?
Come on up. We'll get you on camera that way.
Do the four Eagle Scouts one?
There are three here, and one is absent at this time.
So,
Guys. We've been fortunate over the last few years to have the Schaefferstown troop and the Myerstown troop. Boys coming from those two troops who would like to do something mostly at the farm. So then we have to come up with, okay, we need this done, we need this done. As a Boy Scout, no, you cannot climb up 10 feet. You know, all those things have to be put into right prospect. So these boys, Skylar finished his project a few weeks ago. Sterling did his last year, and where he did his, in a few weeks, there was a wedding right there, so that was nice. Cameron finished his this summer, and Sam Buckwalter, who's not here, replaced our stage. So Skylar worked on the picket fence around the house and the posts, and it looks great. I think you had the boys helping you with the pickets from your troop, I believe. And also made bluebird boxes for us. Sterling went to the spring house where stones had been put in many years ago, and if you had the original pictures, it was smooth. But with all the freezing and the thawing, those stones were all over the place, very dangerous. So he had his troop dig down pretty far, and then you put concrete in, right? And then put the ground back in and the stones on the top, and also reconfigured the steps, and then put paving sand in there. And in June, we had our first wedding on the farm, and she wanted to be married in front of the spring house, so it worked out just fine. Cameron took on the fact that we need more tables and benches, but not connected, and he made two tables and 4 benches for us, and the Boy Scouts and his troop helped put that together. And then since we had the stage done, and it really looks wonderful, it's totally new, the benches there have always been a problem over the years. For some reason, the paint didn't stick, even though we did everything right. So he took on the task of sanding that and staining all the benches for it. So that area looks really good. But it's been a continual feedback from the Boy Scout troops to help us out. In fact, when the next one comes along, I'm trying to think, what's left? What else do we need to be done that they can do? But we'll come up with something. We really thank them a lot for the time and the effort they put into it. Their families helped, and their troops helped. The work looks wonderful. Thank you, boys.
So we have proclamations for each of them. As Alice mentioned, Sam Buckwalter couldn't be here, but we have one for him as well from Troop 417. So I'll read one of them in its entirety, and the others I'll read the differences. So the beginning part's the same in each of the proclamations, but the second half is different. And since my son's one of them, I'll take liberty to read his in full. Natural. Whereas Cameron Wagamuth from Troop 417 of Schaefferstown has attained the rank of Eagle Scout from the Boy Scouts of America. And whereas this is the highest award a Scout can receive, and while many move up through the ranks of Scouting, only 7% make it all the way to Eagle. And whereas the vision of Boy Scouts of America is to prepare every eligible youth to become responsible, participating citizens and leaders who are guided by the Scout oath and law. And whereas Cameron's persistent progress through the ranks to earn this prestigious award demonstrated a high level of personal achievement, leadership, and community service in his determination to prepare himself for a meaningful, productive role in society. And whereas Scouting for both boys and girls has been an integral part of Lebanon County for over 100 years, and we are very proud that Cameron is a member of our community. And whereas we commend Cameron on the completion of his Eagle project, which was planning and constructing new tables and benches for seating around the Alexander Schaefer farm in Schaefferstown, and refinishing of the bench seating under the music pavilion. And now, therefore, we, the Commissioners of Lebanon County, on behalf of all our citizens, take this opportunity to extend congratulations to Cameron Wogemuth for his faithful and steady path within the scouting organization, crowned by his achievement of attaining the rank of Eagle Scout, and further we extend best wishes for continued success in his future endeavors.
Do we want to adopt that one
Yep,
first?
let's do them each, have that motion.
All right, I proudly make a motion to adopt the proclamation for Cameron Wogemuth as read.
And having paddled the Swatara Creek with Cameron, I know that he's a real hard worker, and congratulations, and second the motion.
All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
All right, so I'll do the others. The beginning part was the same. I'll just pick up where the project comes in. Whereas we commend Sterling Hetrick on his completion of his Eagle project, in which he planned the excavation of stones in front of the spring house at the historic Alexander Schaeffer farm, installed a concrete bed several feet down, then replaced the stones. Further, the steps were rebuilt and the area was regraded. Now therefore, we, the Commissioners of Lebanon County, on behalf of all our citizens, take this opportunity to extend congratulations to Sterling Hetrick for his faithful and steady path within the scouting organization, crowned by his achievement of attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. And further, we extend best wishes for his continued success in future endeavors.
Motion.
So moved, and congratulations.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved. Congratulations. Thank you.
Also, another difference is that Sterling and Schuyler did their projects and attained their Eagle as part of Troop 420 in Myerstown. I think Alice mentioned those different troops. So for Schuyler, whereas we commend Schuyler on the completion of his Eagle project, which was the refurbishing of the picket fence on the north side of the Schaeffer house at the historic Alexander Schaeffer farm. The fence pickets were sanded, primed, and painted, and several posts were replaced. The fence was reinstalled along with a new set of steps. Schuyler also made 8 bluebird boxes to be put on the farm. Now therefore, we, the Commissioners of Lebanon County, on behalf of all our citizens, take this opportunity to extend congratulations to Schuyler Hetrick for his faithful and steady path within the scouting organization, crowned by his achievement of attaining the rank of Eagle Scout, and further we extend best wishes for continued success in his future endeavors.
I make a motion to adopt the proclamation for Schuyler Hetrick as presented.
And I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. Any questions? All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so ordered.
And last but not least, Sam Buckwalter, who attained his Eagle in Troop 417, Schaefferstown. Whereas we commend Sam on the completion of his Eagle project, which was the planning, demolition, and reconstruction of the performance stage at the historic Alexander Schaeffer farm in Schaefferstown, which is the largest example of many contributions he has made as a Boy Scout. Now therefore, we, the Commissioners of Lebanon County, on behalf of all our citizens, take this opportunity to extend congratulations to Samuel Buckwalter for his faithful and steady path within the scouting organization, crowned by his achievement of attaining the rank of Eagle Scout, and further we extend best wishes for continued success in his future endeavors.
Also move, and wish Samuel Buckwalter all the best.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign, so moved. Well, I would like if Bill would present them as our resident Eagle Scout. He got his last year, by the way.
Yeah.
That was fitting for
Would you guys like to know what year I got my Eagle?
Yeah, sure.
1957.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it, your experiences or your plans, or however you'd like to do that? Go ahead.
After we graduate, or
What do you have in mind?
with our Eagle Scout.
What they're doing now and what their plans are, yeah.
So currently I go to the Lebanon CTC for electrical technology, and after that I'd like to further a career to be an electrical lineman.
Sterling?
Well, I'm already graduated, and right now I'm working part-time, and I'm going to start to do programming the next year.
Scarlett?
All right.
I'm currently enrolled in the UFT program, and I want to see how that works out. Maybe pursue the medical field and maybe enlist into service.
Very good.
Any particular branch?
The Army.
Army? Thank you.
Thank you all for all the work that went into that. We really appreciate it, and having you here is an honor for us. So thank you.
May I add something? I always think of something when I sit down. I want to let you know that when Sterling put the stones in front of the spring house, they were not these little, they were huge hunks of mostly sandstone, very, very heavy. And also we had two businesses here in the county who helped Cameron and Sam. Sandbach Walter got $4,000 worth of wood from Rigid Ply Plasters. They just donated it for him. And I know that Cameron also received wood for his tables from Rigid Ply. And also the Ace Hardware Store on 422 east of Myerstown donated stain. So we have businesses here in the county who are interested in these boys and their projects. I thought I'd let you know that.
Thank you. And I'd also like to thank Kathy for producing these documents under some pressure this morning, putting it all together. But thank you, Kathy, in addition to all the other good work that you do for the county. We appreciate this morning.
All right. As an Eagle Scout, of course, I have a special interest in what the Scouts have done. But I also have significant interest in tourism in Lebanon County. So I'm very proud of what we've been able to do here and to assist as a Board of Commissioners as far as financial and support of our new tourism agency. So it is quite exciting to see this come together and a real community cooperation to improve one of our historic sites. So I certainly appreciate that. So who's first? Skylar. Skylar? Where's Skylar? Okay, congratulations on that. I don't know if he's taking pictures here. Thank you for everything that you've done. Appreciate it. Sterling, congratulations to you, and you must be significant. You did the stonework, right?
Yeah.
That's quite. Do you have history of stonework in your family, or
no?
Did you? Let me guess. You went online to find out how to do it. Huh?
No.
Congratulations, and thank you for your help. Cameron, my special buddy, and that has nothing to do with the fact that he's Jamie's son. He's just my special buddy. We've been working together and talking about Eagle Scouts and working with Cameron's troop. So congratulations on that, and good luck with all of you. Good luck with your professional careers as you move forward. So thank you.
Can we get a picture with all the commissioners? I think that would be good.
If you guys would go up there. Tim,
Yeah, you can go up there.
Yeah, go up to that side.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about the whole there. Good, how are you?
Can I impose for somebody to take one?
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How are you?
Yeah.
He'll be there. Yep, he'll be there.
Is Bill coming up? Thanks for everything you've done. I wanted to make sure I had the right number of troops.
Yeah.
I was like, where's Bob?
Yeah. You want to do each of the boys and maybe their families if you don't mind to do?
Jamie, whatever you want.
Whatever I want, thanks. Thank you, Commissioner.
Video too, can you get someone to take it?
Camera time.
Can you get someone to take it?
Okay, and
One to keep
Yeah.
and put and show.
oh, wait a minute, and you took one of the box and the,
I think you gave them.
right, we talked, okay, I'm trying to get a count, I think.
Oh, that's the one to get in.
We need
Gotta be
to,
in January.
well, probably, and you won't be here. Okay, well, I'll ask somebody to make a motion to 5:50. I'll get, thank you.
Thanks.
Good. Okay.
Of course.
We should have the Penn State shirt in this.
There we go, good.
Yeah, we got good job.
Penn State, you have to get the picture.
Depends on how things go.
Sorry.
Again, you guys. Congratulations.
Put this together.
Just have one other thing, just some appointments here, and that being for the Lebanon County Commission for Women. We have 2 appointments to the commission whose terms will expire December of 2020, and they are Aaron Velazquez of Lebanon and Nicole Marr of Lebanon to be to the commission.
I'd be honored to make a motion to appoint Aaron and Nicole to the Commission for Women.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve those appointments. Any questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so ordered.
That's all I have. Next meeting will be next Thursday, January 4th, which is the reorganization meeting of the year.
Very good. Motion to adjourn. Oops.
If I could impose on the board just a few questions, budget related. It's a budget without a bite, as they say. But I will ask you, how does this year's budget set the county up for next year's budget process? Would you like to take a stab at that?
Jamie?
Well, I told the commissioners a couple of weeks ago, this is probably the easiest is the right word, but the least eventful budget that I've had in 20 years. Going into 2018, the county is situated with a reserve of $7.5 million, which by the policy that was adopted last year, is 2 months of expenditures from the general fund, and that is whole. The capital improvement fund has grown a bit from some refunds that we received from health insurance. Health insurance, since I mentioned that, is only up 4% going into 2018. Unless something drastic happens on the national level, we have enjoyed pretty low increases relative to some of the other private and public sectors that we've heard about, but as a result of being involved with the Pennsylvania County Health Insurance Program. And I feel pretty good about it. I mean, we, you know, it was a completely balanced budget with funds in reserve to weather the first 3 months of the year and weather any other unexpected things may come along in case the state budget doesn't go as planned, which it has not in the past, and the need for the county to float itself through those periods of time. So it's, I don't foresee anything real drastic happening in 2018 that's going to make it difficult for 2019, but you never know.
We settled with a couple of bargaining units.
Right, yep, we have.
And have reasonable settlements.
Yep, yeah.
Also, we had budgeted for the full arc in 2017, and because of the market, that we didn't need that total arc, and we're carrying over, how much?
780,000.
Towards next year's arc. So, you know, I think that positions us as too, you know, almost $1 million towards the arc. And there are a lot of variables. If the market continues to perform, which we never know, but if it does, our arc will probably be even lower than anticipated. So that will certainly help us to balance in 2019.
Speaking of the market, and Controller Bentley can step in if he wants to, but at last report, we may be enjoying a double-digit return on the pension investments for 2017. There's only 2 more market days left in the year, so barring any drastic crash of the market, that's very likely, which could bring the percentage of funded ratio up close to 90% in the pension fund.
Which, since the inception of that, it's been like an average of 5.9 or 5.5. So double digit is quite significant.
Jimmy, you mentioned the capital improvement fund, but I don't think you said the balance there.
The capital improvement fund is going to go into 2018 with a little over $2 million in it, which is, you know, there for things that are unusual. We did some courthouse roofing this past year. The coming year, we're going to do paving to the lots that surround the building. Some of those one-time expenditures.
We also have the new Honeywell program, which obviously is scheduled to pay for itself, but also with historically there were even additional savings with those programs, so hopefully we will have some of those in addition.
You mentioned briefly contract negotiations. Do you have any contracts that are still pending?
Stay tuned. I think next week we'll probably have, it seems like we're very close to settling with detectives. I think the prison just went through last week, so in pretty good shape.
The
Don't
only
really
one
see
that's
anything
open
dragging out.
is the detectives now, right? That's the only one that's open.
So we don't foresee at this point any arbitrations or anything like that coming.
So it's all looking very much like sunshine for 2019 from your perspective.
And the long-term debt is very low per capita. That's another nice, you know, dial that's in the right direction. So
Anybody up here willing to say there will be no tax increase in 2019?
Let's take 1 year at a time. No.
There shouldn't be, but.
Thank you.
Commissioner Fitz went out on a limb for us there.
Okay, that's good. Anything else? Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We stand adjourned. Thank you. Happy New Year to all. Thank you.
Wonderful. Good job, ladies.